going on YouTube? Jeff Tuffner here with the 10th episode of the Glorious Podcast, where we're going to review Monday Night RAW, the fallout from the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, where we get to see all this fallout then on an episode of RAW that put me to sleep, basically. Most of the show, I couldn't make it until about halfway through the show. The Samoa Joe, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, when they were all in the ring, that segment, that saved the show. I was just about to fall asleep. Like, this show was legit putting me to sleep. And some people actually enjoyed Raw last night. I feel like I'm the complete opposite half the time. When everybody says Raw is good, and I say Raw is, it's awful. When everybody says Raw is bad, I actually think it's good. But some people actually thought, not a bad episode last night. I thought last night was abysmal in the beginning. Picked up a little steam toward the end. Like I said, that segment with Joe and Lesnar and Reigns, that was good. That got me into the show a little bit. And then the end of the show, everybody wants to know what's the deal with Kurt Angle. We'll talk about that a little later in this episode of the Glorious Podcast. But let's talk about the show. Let's talk about how they opened the show with Big Cass. He comes out, he cuts a promo, and then is confronted by the Big Show. And many people were surprised by seeing the Big Show. I was not surprised to see the Big Show. I mean, people were legit, surprised, why is the Big Show here? What's going on? I was I expected this. I figured he would show up last night. He did not show up last night 2 nights ago, rather, at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. But Big Show's obviously back. He's going to probably end up taking on Cass at SummerSlam. He's here to put Cass over. It makes perfect sense. I don't know why people aren't understanding that, but I am completely fine with it. I mean, yeah, granted, it's not the most exciting thing to see Cass take on the Big Show, but, you got to get Cass some, build him up a little bit as a singles competitor. So having him go against the Big Show, having the Big Show put him over at SummerSlam makes perfect sense. So they open Raw, then they end up in an awkward brawl. It just seemed like a very awkward brawl between two, 7-foot men. Anyway, we move on to Finn Balor versus Elias Samson. I thought this match would be on the pay-per-view, maybe. I thought they would just throw it on maybe the pre-show or, a little extra time on the pay-per-view the other night. They would throw it on, but they threw it on Raw. Nice little match. Finn Balor picks up the win. I don't know really what to say here. It's not the feud here. It's not really interesting. Let's talk about a little more interesting stuff. That is the Hardy Boys, who are just teasing the broken gimmick at this point. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's just so close for them to them going broken. It's right around the corner. They come out, they cut a little promo. I didn't see the promo actually live, but I went back and watched it, and then I was like, man, that's why everyone's talking about it. Talk about them teasing the broken gimmick again. They're out there saying, they might have become obsolete. All this stuff. They're really teasing it at this point. It's going to be interesting to see when it happens. I really think SummerSlam. Another thing to note here, they actually had, a lot of people are saying something, they could be forming something with, Finn Balor, maybe. They've been teaming in the past few weeks, I think it was. They had, 6-man tag matches. But then, obviously, when the Hardys were making their entrance, Balor was walking back, and then he even did the delete thing. So I don't know, maybe he'll be part of this whole storyline some way when they go broken or whatever. That's really interesting. And it's really interesting. They're all tag team division. They actually made it somewhat interesting last night on Raw. The Hardys took on Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Anderson pick up the win over the Hardys. So that's huge. I mean, Gallows and Anderson have been getting buried as of late. So they pick up a win. They're kind of maybe making them relevant again. They better. And then the Revival come out. They make their they've returned, not really. They're actual physical return. I mean, they've made appearances, but this is their first time actually back, I guess. I don't know. They come out, they attack the Hardy Boys after the match. So it appears they're setting up some type of match for SummerSlam. It looks like it's going to be some kind of fatal 4-way or triple threat tag team match or whatever for the tag titles. The only thing I'm hating about SummerSlam, I'm hearing all these rumors about the card. And I'm just looking at all these rumors and hearing all the matches that might happen. It's just it's a bunch of just these matches that are multi-man matches. It's the fatal 4-way matches or the triple threat matches, tag team. It's can we just I know they want to get everyone on the card, but they just I get that, but I just hate the idea of how it's always got to be a big match. Like, it looks like there's going to be a big match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. It looks like there's going to be a big match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It looks like there's going to be a big match for the Raw Women's Championship. It looks like the Fatal 4-Way could be coming from there, and a Fatal 4-Way from the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships as well. So it's just like, I don't know. I'd rather see more like one-on-one or, just straight up matches, not all these like multi-man matches. They just piss me off when they do it all the time. I mean, it's okay once in a while, but when they just go too far with it, like they did it, like you've seen it at WrestleMania. They're just trying to get everyone on the card, which is I understand, but it's understandable. Move on to the next segment, Miz TV segment. The Miz TV does the Mizzy Awards or whatever the hell was going on. I was about lost. I was just praying that Dean Ambrose didn't come out. And what do you know, Dean Ambrose came out. So I was just hoping the feud would end, and, they're showing signs that they might keep it. But they're also showing signs that they might not, because then Seth Rollins came out to help Dean Ambrose. Then they go backstage, and then Ambrose is like sort of going heel on Rollins, saying, we're not reuniting the Shield or anything or whatever, not getting back together. Despite the fact that the show actually ended with him Ambrose coming out to save Rollins after his match with Bray Wyatt. So I don't know what they're doing. Are they teasing something here? Maybe a somewhat Shield reunion? I don't know, but I don't know. I'd like to see like a Seth Rollins Miz feud. That would be good for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. Looks like they maybe are doing that, but throwing Dean Ambrose in there too. So once again, triple threat match. There you go, another multi-man match. But anyway, it's gonna be interesting to see where that whole thing goes. Sasha Banks and Bayley defeat Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. We seen this match last week. I don't know, just whatever. It just seems like they're building, once again, it seems like they're building up to another match at SummerSlam that's going to involve all four of these women for the title. It should just be Sasha versus Alexa straight up, but it appears they were going to throw Bayley into the mix and Nia into the mix as well. Nothing really to pull from that segment. R-Truth Goldust, another match, just like Finn Balor Elias Sampson. I figured this match would be on the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view card. Was not. They threw it on Raw. Goldust picks up the win. Nothing really special here. I don't know if people are really interested. I mean, they seem like they might be actually trying to do something with Goldust, since kind of bringing him back to his old character somewhat. So I don't know, maybe if they have something planned for him after this kind of little thing with R-Truth. But this is really interesting to see. I'm really curious to see what they do, if they're just going to keep him as a lower kind of card guy, or they might actually kind of maybe elevate him a little bit. Give him maybe one last run. So that will be interesting to see where that goes. Alright, so the next segment we got was my favorite part of the night. It was the part that pretty much saved the show for me. It was the segment with Lesnar, Roman, Samoa Joe, all about SummerSlam and all that stuff. It was a good segment. A little, the promos and stuff were cut in this segment were good. I love how they brought up like the Attitude Era in the segment. It really looks like they could be building toward a triple threat match between these guys, but maybe even a Fatal 4-Way with Braun Strowman in this. He didn't show up. I was just waiting for him to come out. I'm just like, any second now his music's going to hit. He's going to come running out here and just destroy everyone. It's going to be a huge mess. But not tonight. So I'm guessing they further go on to announce, Kurt announces that it will be Reigns versus Joe, #1 contender match for the Universal title at SummerSlam. Well, not at SummerSlam. On Raw next week, the winner faces Lesnar at SummerSlam. I'm pretty much sure what's going to happen is that will main event Raw, and then Braun Strowman will come out and just wreck the place, and yeah. But like I said, that's probably going to lead to a Fatal 4-Way match. Lesnar defense against Joe, Reigns, and Strowman. And there you go, once again, another multi-man match. What do we got next here? Tozawa and Cedric Alexander defeat Neville and Noam Dar. Cruiserweight match. Decent match. I think, what is it? Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar having like an I Quit match, I think they said, on 205 Live tonight. That actually seems intriguing to watch a little bit. I don't usually watch 205 Live. Sometimes I'll go back and watch it later in the week if I got some free time on my hand, but I don't usually watch it live on like tonight. So I don't know. I might go back and watch that. Just, basic cruiserweight match, though. Nothing special to pull from there. Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt main event. Seth Rollins loses again. Bray Wyatt has won 2 matches in a row. The world must be coming to an end, guys, because Bray Wyatt, when was the last time Bray Wyatt has won 2 matches in a row? And against a legitimate opponent, too, in Seth Rollins. They've had Bray Wyatt pick up 2 wins in a row over Seth Rollins. And then after the match, The Miz and his guys come out. They attack him, like I said before, and then Ambrose comes down to the aid of Rollins to help him. Looks like they're building up toward maybe a triple threat, because it doesn't seem like a triple threat or possibly maybe some stupid tag match. So yeah, I figured the show was over, and then I looked at my phone, and I was like, it's only like 11:02. I'm like, they're not gonna end Raw early, are they? So then they cut backstage to Kurt Angle, who's on the phone with someone. And then he's back there with Corey Graves, and it looks like next week we're gonna find out who what the whole story is between Kurt and these texts that's going on here, which is really, and it's an intriguing storyline. I'm like, it's got a lot of people interested in the show. It will definitely draw a lot of viewers based on the way they ended the show last week. They're gonna draw a lot of viewers next week on Raw because of this, and I'm actually pretty excited for Raw. I figured tonight was kind of bad, but I'm really excited for next week. Joe versus Reigns. We're gonna find out what this whole Kurt Angle thing is. Many speculating it could lead to